Hi there. In this clip we're going to have a look at the ellipse. To start with, we're going to look at how the ellipse has two axes. So it has a major axis and a minor axis. Okay, this means that our ellipse would actually fit nicely into two circles. The longest distance out here being the major axis, and you can see that there's the circle that it goes around and fits within. And then the minor axis is the vertical one, and you can see that there's a circle there that minor one fits outside of. In this case. With your ellipse, it has two focus points from where all our points are generated. The focus point, to find where both of those are, you just take half the distance of the major axis and you go on to where the ellipse touches the minor axis and you mark that half major down onto your major axis lines. Okay. So that's how to find the focus points. Half the major from the minor back down across the major. Let's have a look at this ellipse here to start with. So what we've got here is how to construct an ellipse by concentric circles. So two different size circles giving you a major axis and a minor axis. So let's have a look. And here's one that I've got started. I've got my vertical minor axis, my horizontal major axis here. Major axis is going to be 100, minor is going to be 70 millimeters. So we're going to create two circles, one with a 100 millimeter diameter, one with a 70 millimeter diameter. So as you know, to make those we need to set our compass to 50 millimeters radius for the major axis and 35 millimeter radius for the minor axis. Now let's go ahead and do that. So setting up your compass, set one up at 35 millimeters, put on the centre and make sure it doesn't jump around when you go to do it. Listen accurately. And put down a 70 millimeter circle. Then grab your other compass, set that to 50 millimeters, or the same compass. I've just happened to have two compasses. And put around our 100 millimeter diameter circle. The next step we need to do is divide our major circle, the larger one. We could do it with either one, it doesn't matter, but I normally do it with the larger one just because that's where I'm at. So I take my radius that I've just used, making sure it hasn't adjusted at any point, and I take it around, and on these axis lines I just mark the outside circle. Okay, so use your vertical and your horizontal axes, and just go around and mark using your radius distance all your points around. And they will give you the lines to create your 12 points. So if I take these, go through those, just go straight through the centre, take these down, joining them all up. Create my 12 parts. Now you'll notice there that we did on the outside and it's also across the inside circle as well. So it doesn't matter whether you do it on the inside or the outside, they'll extend through to wherever you need them. Okay, the next step for this is to actually create where our ellipse is going to be located. Now we know it's going to touch onto the minor axis here, and we know it's going to touch out here. And let's just have a look at that on the drawing here again so you can see that. So you can see it's touching the minor axis and touching the major axis. Now if you have a look, you see that where these lines go across to divide up our 12 parts, where they intersect the major axis, they will go in a vertical direction. So back towards the minor axis line. So we'll go from that point back down, back down, down, back down. When you come to this side, you're going back up, back up, back up, back up. And where those lines for your 12 parts intersect the minor circle, we're going to head out horizontally. And we're looking for where they intersect with the lines coming off the major circle. So let's go ahead and start to mark those out. Using my set square and my parallel rule, I'm going to mark some lines off my major just coming up. And you want to do these at any sort of length. You'll see where this is on the minor axis coming through the minor circle. You'll see they're going to come out from there and cross, so you can sort of gauge where you're going to be going to. So just come out of there. Of course, they're construction lines. You can just take them any length. Okay, so I've marked out those lines. Now I need to come to my minor, and I'm going to be heading out. So where the minor circle is and those lines touch, I'm going to head out here. This side as well. And back up. Minor circle on the lines. Now we're down here, so minor crosses. Line crosses the minor circle. Line crosses the minor. Okay, so now we've created some points, and these points are here, here, out here on the major axis, crossing over here, crossing over here, minor axis circle, this one, out to the major axis, and back in. Now, apologies for the quality of the video in this. You see that when I put my hand in, I'm blocking out the light that's coming through the window. I can't turn on the camera light because it interferes with the sound. Okay, next step, and this is a hard bit for most people, is freehand rough it in. If you've got a French curve, you can use that, or a flexi curve, you can use that. But at this point, we're just going to try and rough it in, freehand, going through all the points, looking at the next one, seeing where it's got to line up. Now when you come out to this one, you don't want to just hit it at a hard point. You want to scoop in nicely and come back out again. It's not a hard point touching that major axis. It's got a bit of a curve to it. Now, I'm trying to do this without turning my board, just so I don't muck the camera up. When you guys do it, you'll find a hell of a lot easier if you actually move your board around, stand up, do whatever you have to do so that you can get a really good angle on it. So my excuse for doing a really bad job is going to be the fact that I can't move around because of the camera. Now, like with all sketching or freehanding, if you don't quite get it right, you can adjust it up a little bit later on as you do your outline in it. So at the moment I'm just trying to go around with my 4H pencil. This bottom bit I find the hardest because it's basically, I'm trying to go around the bottom and come back up. And if I could stand up, here's me making excuses again, if I could stand up I'd probably do a better job. And you can see they've started to rough in. My ellipse. Now from that point you can, if you haven't got any equipment, you can just go over with your HB and start to do it in. If you have got a French curve or a flexi curve, you can use your roughed in lines to guide you through to put in your outline. Okay. I'll just stop there. You can see where it goes around, touches the minor circle, touches the major, back around again, and that is your ellipse, hopefully looking something like that one.